Before we get into the course proper, let's take a quick tour of Gadget. If you're already an experienced gadgeteer, then feel free to skip ahead. I'm going to start with a new project or song, so I'll just select New in the File menu, or Command N. Now, a new song should contain at least one gadget, so the gadget browser immediately pops up, enticing us to choose a gadget. Unlike the iOS version of Gadget, the Mac version comes with all currently available gadgets, which, as of right now, is 30 gadgets, but by the time you see this, might well be more. We can sort our gadget list by type or tag over here. For example, Drum Type lists all 7 drum machine gadgets. Or the Analog tag shows us all virtual analog synth gadgets. Now, not all gadgets are strictly virtual instruments. If we click on the audio track type, for instance, we've got an audio recorder gadget, Zurich, and a guitar processor gadget, Rosario. By the way, Zurich enables us to get live instruments or vocals recorded into Gadget, and is pretty much essential in making Gadget a real grown-up DAW. Each gadget has a fairly comprehensive description attached, which actually comes in handy when trying to find the right gadget for the job in mind. Okay, so I'll pick London for now and click Select. Our gadget window is split into 4 panes. We've got tracks and scenes over here, which is similar to, say, how Ableton Live works. There's a mixer section below that, here, which apart from a master channel, has a channel or track for each gadget. We can add tracks or gadgets by clicking on the plus symbol, here. On the right side of the split, we've got a pretty standard piano roll type editor, here, which shows the currently selected scene. And below that, the currently selected gadget, which in this case is London. The computer's QWERTY keyboard is always active as a virtual keyboard controller. Or you can just click on the pads in this case. So what if you don't like this layout? Well, there are some options to customize the layout, but you can't change what's in each quad. These first 2 buttons zoom the display in and out. And these next 2 hide the mixer and gadget window respectively. Lastly, you can select just the track scene view and mixer, or the piano roll editor and gadget. You can also change the size of the quads by clicking and dragging the borders. Except, interestingly, not the border between the track window and the mixer window, although I guess that makes sense. Now, most of these controls also have associated keyboard shortcuts, which you can see in the view menu here. Okay, so lastly, the footer section. We've got a function button, which brings up functions such as copy, paste, and delete. Next comes a set of fairly rudimentary transport controls. Record, stop, which also resets to bar 1, play, pause, and loop. Tempo is next, which brings up not just the BPM setting, but also a handy-dandy global swing function. There's a metronome on and off button, and a locator showing the current play-pause position. Finally, on the far side of the footer, a gadget button which changes the currently selected gadget, and a MIDI button which brings up MIDI controller mappings for the currently selected gadget. You can change the factory assignment simply by clicking on the function you want to assign, which then starts pulsating, meaning it's ready to receive a MIDICC assignment. Then just twiddle the knob or fader or whatever on your controller keyboard or device to make the assignment. Pretty simple. Okay, so that's everything. Actually, no, I forgot the left side of the header. Let's go over that quickly. So you've probably guessed from the icon, the first button here brings up a file menu, which at first glance you might think is a bit redundant, considering the file menu is right here. But when you're in full screen mode, the macOS menu bar is hidden, so it's kind of a nice touch. Another nice touch here is the iCloud button, which gives you quick access to loading and saving to and from your iCloud drive. And yes, of course, you can access the iCloud drive through the file menu, but having quick access is nice. Next is another quick access button, this time for exporting. Lastly in this little cluster of buttons is the Ableton Link on and off button. Song or project title is in the middle, followed by buttons for song sharing to Ali Hooper and Gadget Cloud. Finally, there's this odd little info button that seems to be nothing but a product brochure for Korg. Weird. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the quick tour. On to the next.